Steve, how did you feel to get out there with that scrimmage and really get going with the guys last week?
Yeah, it was great. It was an awesome opportunity to see the work that we put in through a couple practices and somewhat of a live scenario and, against some real looks and, playing real football. So it was great for me personally and great for our team and great for our offense.
When you take a look at those wide receivers that you do have, just how they're coming along and just what those weapons provide for you out there.
They're unbelievably talented. The entire room, the additions we made in the portal, along with the guys that have been here for a couple of years, the freshmen, I think overall I've been really impressed with their work ethic, just how much athletic ability they have. They can stretch the field horizontally, vertically. Great route runners, unbelievable speed.
A guy like John Tay specifically, what do you see from him?
Yeah, he's an unbelievable playmaker. I think just playmaker is the best way to describe him. He's a guy that can get open, but then once you get the ball in his hands, his yak, is unbelievable. So he can get open down the field. He can run option routes, digs, anything. He can do anything, run all the route tree and get open.
Steve, Fran is somebody who talks a lot about wanting to put guys under pressure in spring and seeing how they respond. What has he done that's maybe unique or that try to ramp up the intensity on you and the pressure on the quarterbacks in practice?
Yeah, I think that's every day. I think just the way Coach Fran is, his intensity is unmatched, and every day you go out there, it feels like a game. You're out there, and he's talking on the mic. He's doing everything he can to make it feel heightened, make the energy go up, and added pressure. But all you do is prepare and do your job.
Any trash talk that he's had that stands out, or that you remember?
When I get in, it's kind of all zoned out. I kind of tune everything out and just do my job.
Fran was talking about, wanting to see both you and Ricky, take that next step in your game this week before Saturday's scrimmage. What's one thing that maybe you're honing in on or, working on this week before Saturday to really prove that, you can pull away in that starting quarterback competition?
Yeah, just continuing to do my job at a high level from protection standpoint, making sure that the offense is running smoothly, moving the football. I think just a culmination of things, but overall just making sure the offense runs smooth, has, long, sustained drives.
Fran's often talked about he wants his starting quarterback to be a leader, essentially his second-hand man. How would you describe your leadership style?
Yeah, I think I'm a leader in all aspects of my life. What he says is, he wants someone that's Dart and CCT, and not just on the football field, but throughout their whole life. And I'm really trying to embrace that and continuing to do that. So, I feel like my leadership style is one, having a genuine connection with the players, the coaches, everyone that's part of Syracuse football, but then two, making sure that I'm continuing to push the standard and rise the level of play every day.
In terms of you and Ricky, how would you say you guys have made each other better throughout this camp?
Competition is great. I've said it before and I'll continue to say it. When you're competing, everyone just rises to the occasion, and going against someone, it's an iron sharpens iron mentality.
For you, is there someone or a couple of people, maybe like for the returners that are coming back there this year, that you've kind of leaned on or talked to help you build that camaraderie with the team, whether it's wide receiver, running back, or even someone on the defense that you've kind of turned to?
Yeah, it's been a lot of guys. I've been able to get close with a lot of people. I think Deuce has been a big one. Dan Villari has been a massive one for me. Across the offensive line, it's really been all those guys, Spoon and everyone. I think Tank has been someone that's been really helpful. Devin Grant. What I want to do as soon as I came in here is get to know everybody, know them as a person, not just as a player. So I made, a really big effort to get to know them on a personal level.
The last time we spoke to you, you said before you got here, you spoke to Kyle, and that kind of helped you make your decision. What was it that he said to you that really stood out?
I think Kyle just told me the truth. He said, you're going to work your butt off here, and, you're going to throw the ball around a lot and playing offensive system that will prepare you for right now and the next level. So really just everything that he said was something that made this place attractive, and, I really appreciate that call with him.
Just overall as a team, how have you felt like, as you get near and near to the first game of the season, how have you felt like maybe the overall intensity or physicality has kind of ramped up in practice?
I think it just continues to rise every day. I think that's just Syracuse football and the way that Coach Brown runs everything. Coach Fran really just continues to rise the standard every single day with the physicality, the effort, the intensity. Everything just continues to rise every single practice.
When you work with a guy like Coach Nuns, what is he getting out of you? How is his style, his leadership really pulling the best out of you at this point?
Yeah, it's a mixture of tough love and tough coaching. He demands the best of you every day, and, the way that he coaches me and how hard he is on me to make sure I'm doing my best just shows how much he cares and how much he wants me to be a great player, and not just me, but the entire quarterback room and the entire offense.
We got to see you a little bit out there, obviously, for Notre Dame, but with the opportunity to potentially lead this team, What are some of those areas of your game that you've really honed in on to elevate yourself?
Yeah, I think overall just understanding of offensive football, situational football, understanding the different situations that arise. I think just really learning how to, weather the ebbs and flows of a game, the ups and downs, and continue to play the next play, and really just having the mentality of you have to make this team better, and you can't do it by yourself, but you have to be a big reason to get these guys going, get the offense going. So I'm just excited to put it all together.
There were people on social media, randos, as you're leading the team down the field against Notre Dame, who were like future quarterback, Syracuse quarterback Steve Angeli. So you were on their minds months before you got here. When did you start thinking Syracuse would be a good option, if you didn't win the battle?
Not until I was in the portal.
Well,
How in any way has Coach Fran Brown helped to give you more of a defensive-minded perspective as a quarterback for this team?
Yeah, it's great. I mean, he has an unbelievable understanding of football. He played quarterback. He likes to tell me he played quarterback in high school. So whatever he did there, and he talks about it to me like that. But he knows football just totally from situations, defense, offense, special teams. So anything that he says, I make sure to listen, write down, because he's a master when it comes to situational football and really just has an unbelievable feel for the game. But when it comes to defense, he can see little things and little aspects that definitely help a quarterback. If I can kind of pick it out on our own team, or if we're watching some sort of tape, he can point it out. So he just has kind of that special ability to be able to point these little details out that actually end up being, the difference between winning and losing games.
So
Last two for Steve.
Kyle was a guy who had a real public breakup with Ohio State. And when he got here, Fran Brown was like, I'm hell-bent on showing the world just how good of a quarterback Kyle McCord is. And you have somewhat of a similar situation with Notre Dame, where you caught the country by storm, and then boom, they put two guys up there instead of you. What's that conversation with Fran been like in terms of, I want to repeat what I did with Kyle with you?
Yeah, it's been pretty similar. Those conversations are private, but all I'm focused on is being the best person I can for Syracuse football and the program.
If you had to give a scouting report on yourself, what makes Steve Angeli unique and different in your eyes?
I think one is my intangibles. I think I have a great understanding for the game offensively, just understanding offensive football, coverage recognition. But two, I feel like I can make every throw on the field, extend plays, pick up first downs. I just think my leadership and having the ability to be out there and just get the guys to play at a level one step higher than they think they can.
Thank you, Steve.
Appreciate it. Thank you guys.